All right, so we are working on our new KW Command IDX sites today. So we will be in Command. Right now I'm on the sign-in page for Command, which you can access by going to agent.kw.com. And we're going to go ahead and get signed in. Our username and password are actually the same as the MyKW username and password. So I'll give you guys a moment to go ahead and get signed in as well. All right, and that does bring us to our Command dashboard. So this is the home page of Command, and we are working on our sites today, but before we jump into working on the actual websites, there's a few things that we need to make sure are updated before we create anything. So we're actually going to go into our marketing profile. Basically, before you do anything in Command, whether that's working on your website, any marketing materials, sending out any emails, you want to make sure that your marketing profile is up to date. This is where all of those items will pull your personal and contact information from. So to avoid having to update that every single time on every little thing that you create, we can go to the marketing profile and make sure that that has all of the correct information first. So from our dashboard, I'm going to click on Scott's name up at the top right. I'm in his profile right now. And from there, I'm going to click Settings. All right, this brings us into the Integrations and Applications page. But we want to go to the marketing profile, so I'm going to go over to the left and click on Connect Settings. And then you can see that expanded, and I'm going to click on Marketing Profile. All right, this brings us to the marketing profile. Like I said, this is where you update all of your information for your website, your marketing materials, your campaigns, basically anything marketing related in Command you will update here. So one thing I want to point out, up at the top you'll see that there is this little switch that says use my information to brand my agent site. You definitely want to make sure that this is turned on. You can see it's flipped to the right and it has a little green button, or green bubble, whatever you want to call it. That means that this is active. If it wasn't, you can see if I click on that, there we go, it turns it off, switch to the left. So I'm going to leave it like that for now. So let's pretend that we're filling this out for the first time. So I'll scroll down, you can see there are a couple spots for your photo and your team logo. They do need to be a square. They recommend the size 360 by 360. If you don't put it in a square or resize it, it may make your face look a little wonky, so just keep that in mind. If you need help with that, we can definitely assist. But your photo and your team logo, there is also at the bottom a place for your office logo, so don't put your office logo here. I'll show you where that goes instead. If we keep scrolling, we can see my details, so anything with this little red star, of course, is required. We want to make sure that we have our first name, last name. We can add in extra information like our agent license number, team name, any designations or credentials you may have, your bio, mobile phone and office phone are required. You can add in a fax number, email of course is required, and then a link for your website. So this is what's going to display. This is not where you would choose your website name. This is basically just filling in what your website link would be on any marketing materials that you create. You can see here is the spot for the market center or brokerage logo. And then the market center or brokerage information over here on the right. So we have our market center name, market center number, and address. Please make sure that this is the office address and not your home address. You can add in the market center brokerage or license number. And then there is a place for a legal footer here. This is not where you would put any forms that are required for your state. So I know For example, Texas and New York, they do require that you have some paperwork, like the IABS forms. They need to be linked on your marketing materials or like on your email and on your website. We will actually show you a different place where you can add that in. Right here, we usually put something like each office is individually owned and operated. And if you went through our process and filled out our questionnaire, we would have added this in for you. We would have updated this, this whole section. Social media information, if you have any social media profiles for your real estate business, you can add those in here. We do recommend creating separate accounts for real estate. Don't put your personal Facebook, your personal Instagram, things like that. Make sure that they are tailored toward your business and real estate. But you can put in those links here and that will display on your website and on your marketing materials. And then if you want to do any tracking through Facebook Pixel or Google Analytics, you can insert the codes for those here, or the tracking IDs. We actually can set this up for you as well. And then our KW branded app link. So this is for on some marketing materials and web pages, there are links that say click here to download my app, and it will link to whatever you put in here. So this is all good to go. We've updated all of our personal information. We can now click save, and this will update immediately. So now I'm going to exit out of this. So I'm going to go back up to the top, and we want to make sure that, like I said, this little switch here is flipped, so I'll go ahead and click on that. It does give us a compliance reminder. Says that the sites need to include the market center or brokerage logo, the ownership statement, that's that little footer that we put in, each office is individually owned and operated, and then compliance with any local boards or commission laws and rules, that's those additional forms that your board may require. So just make sure all of that info is added in. We can click acknowledge and continue. It's going to tell us it's saved again, and now our information is populating on our agent website. All right, so that's our first step in getting all of this set up. So now what we can do is go ahead and jump into our sites. So I'm going to go over to the bottom right, oh, sorry, bottom left. Hopefully you guys can see that. My screen's a little small today. But you can see there's a little icon down at the bottom left for sites. So I'll go ahead and click on that. All right, so this is where we can access our different websites. We can see landing pages. These would be any standalone landing pages that we created, landing pages for listings, things like that. Our agent site pages, which we will touch on. When we go through and create our site, it does automatically create 3 web pages that go on our website. So I'll show you what those are. And then any neighborhood pages. I'm not going to touch on these today, so we will be working on our agent site and our agent site pages. So to get started and to set up your site for the first time, you do need to go through the Kelly Guide. So you can access this a couple different ways from this page. You can scroll down to the bottom. It says Learn More with Kelly Guides, and then it's up here at the top too, and we can actually see the link to our site, but I'm not going to show you yet because I want to go through the process and keep it a surprise and show you what it looks like at the end. So I'm going to click on this option here for Learn More with Kelly Guides, and that'll bring us in and walk us through the process of setting up our site, which is super easy. Alright, you will see this pop-up message. It says, before you begin, which provider would you like to use for your sites? We have a couple different options. We, of course, are going to choose this first one. I want to use the new KW Agent Sites. That's setting up the new IDX site through Command. There's also an option that says I have Playster and want to continue to use Playster sites. I don't believe you should click on this because if you do, even if you have extended your Playster contract, I think when you click on this, it won't allow you to then create an IDX site as well. So I would choose this option here. It's not going to make your Playster go away. And then there's an option for I want to explore other options. They are working on adding more options to the KW Marketplace. But for now, we just want to click this first option here. I want to use the new KW Agent Sites. So we will select that and then click Submit. All right, what should I expect to get out of this guide? Basically, we're just going to go through this step by step and set up our website. So it's going to help us choose our subdomain, set up the theme and styling, and then create our pages. So let's go ahead and click Get Started. We do see that compliance reminder again. So we already know that we set this up already in our marketing profile. Cool thing right here though, you can see it says click here to find your approved Market Center Brokerage DBA logo. So almost every single office has a custom logo that was created for them. You can find that in Connect in the marketing section. So if you highlight this, you can see hopefully down at the bottom left of my screen this little, it's like right here, this link pops up. So this is going to bring you to a different web page in KW Connect. And you can see all the different Keller Williams logos. You can actually search for the logos for your specific office. But we already have that added in, so I'm just going to click Acknowledge and Continue, and we can start working through the Kelly Guide. All right, and like I said, this is pretty straightforward. We're just going to go through these steps on the right to set up our site, and you can see a preview of what we're working on over here on the left. So our first step is to choose our subdomain and configure the profile. So the subdomain is basically choosing the domain or the URL for your website. So these websites, same as the Placer sites, they end in .kw.com, but we need to add in the part before kw.com. So we have scottleroymarketing.kw.com. This can be up to 30 characters, no spaces, no special characters, and you can change this at any time, which is really cool. So let's say I want to make this scottleroy.kw.com. Whatever you're choosing, you can type that here in this box, and then hit Claim Domain. Cool, and then right away, since this is available, you can see it says, congrats, you have claimed your subdomain. If it is not available, you will see a different message. I don't exactly know what it says. Probably just this URL is not available, but you will be able to see that. It'll tell you if that option is going to work or not. So there we go, easy enough. We chose our website URL, scottleroy.kw.com. And we're just going to keep scrolling. So now, you can see on this page we have to go through our marketing profile. So if we click on this, it'll expand. And we actually don't have to update anything in here. You can see it pulled over our information from that marketing profile we went through at the beginning of class. It's plugged in our name, our brokerage information, basically everything from the marketing profile. So you can see that this is all the same. It is up to date. But if you wanted to, you can come here and make any changes that you see fit. And then down here at the bottom, though, we can now see there are a couple spots for the compliance or legal footers. So on our website, now I'm scrolling over on the left. Here we go. We can see that this is our footer that we put in the marketing profile. Each office is individually owned and operated, so that's the one we edited before. But I mentioned that you have to add in those compliance footers in a different space. So this is where you would actually add that. I think you can add, I don't think there's a limit. It looks like we have 2, but if you needed to add more, there is a spot here. It says add more links. But basically it gives you a spot for the title and then the link to whatever documents or pages you need to have displayed. So on our website we have 2 links. I think this is for agents in either Texas or New York. But basically this has to be displayed on their site, and you will get information from your board about that. Usually they make it pretty clear what info you need on your site. But you can see we added in the title, information about broker services, and when somebody clicks on that on this site, it'll go to whatever link you put in this box. So you can add those in. If we needed to add more, we can click Add More Links. And you can see it has the title and link space here. If you needed to delete any of these, you can just click this little trash can button, but that's where you can add in those additional forms that may be required from your board or by your board to have on your website. And that's what it'll look like. All right, scrolling along, we do have spaces for our images on our site. This is pulled over from that marketing profile, so it should already be there. You wouldn't have to upload this again. You can see our headshots here. You scroll up. Our logos. I think our logos, yep, they're up at the top. So you can update those if you need to, but they're already plugged in from the marketing profile. Same sort of thing, social media information, this pulled over from our profile as well, but you can update them here. I think these are over on the bottom. Yep, here we go, social. You can see the links to those profiles that we've added in. And then our KW app link. Perfect, so that part's pretty straightforward. As long as you've gone through the first part of class, like when we went through the marketing profile, you most likely don't need to edit anything in here. So all of this looks good to go. Our site's looking awesome so far, so I'm going to click Save and Continue, and we'll move on to the next step. All right, and now we get to go through and set up our style and theme. We have two options here. We have a KW red theme or a dark theme. Looks like we are on the red theme. Let's see if it'll show us what the dark theme looks like. Okay, so I think it's not showing us the preview just yet. Maybe it will after you save it, but you could play around with this and see. Basically, they're the same thing. This one just has more red. This one has more dark colors. You can decide which one works best for your branding. Homepage text. So this is over here on the left, this text above the search bar. So right now we have Find Your Next Dream Home. You can add in something like your search begins here. You can add in your team name, your name, what have you, but that's going to display here on the homepage above this search bar. Now this is where we can also upload or update our hero images. So the hero images are basically those homepage images on your website. You can upload up to 5, and then if you have multiple, it'll actually rotate through like a slideshow. So they do add in some for you, but if you wanted to, you can delete these by clicking the little trash can button and upload your own. Like I said, they will scroll through like a slideshow. If you only want one image and don't want it to rotate, you would just have to delete the other 4 and just add in 1. But this is where you can upload those images from your computer. It does say 1200 by 1200, but I think it's actually more of like a rectangle. So you can play around with that and just add it in, preview it, and you can see what works best. So like this is one I added in for a previous class. If I click preview, it looks pretty good. So you can play around with that and see. I guess I uploaded it was a rectangle, but it cropped it to a square. So you'll just have to play around with your images and see how they look by previewing it. But that's about it on this page. Basically, we're just choosing if we want a red theme or a dark theme, updating the homepage text, and then adding in our hero images or our slideshow. So easy enough. We'll go ahead and scroll down and click Save and Continue, and we'll keep chugging along. Alright, so now we need to customize our site's content. So I did point out that when you go through this Kelly guide, it sets up 3 pages automatically for you. So from this page right here, it says customize your site's content. To start, we can click on navigation, and this is just our menu. You can see over here, it's not actually clickable, but the menu for this site is going to be up at the top right. They can click on that. It'll show your team name or your name if you've added that in, and then once they click on that, it'll be a drop-down menu like this. So the 3 pages it creates for you are the company profile, about me, and contact us. You can move these around if you'd like by clicking on that and dragging if you want to reorder them. And I will be showing you later on how you can add additional pages as well. So that's easy enough. That's all we have to do for the navigation section. If we scroll down and then go to search engine optimization, this is where we can edit the SEO for this page. So right now we are on our value proposition page, which is the company profile. So it's company profile, but we called it value proposition. So basically a profile about you, your team, your company, what have you. So basically we're just going to go through these options here and then set this up. So for this SEO, we basically just need to choose the page title. So we called it value proposition. I'm going to change that back to company profile just to make this a little less confusing for this class. So that's just the page title. And then the URL slug. So this is going to be basically the link on your site to this specific page. So it's going to be scottleroy.kw.com/ whatever we put in this box. So I'll go ahead and put company dash profile, or does it do it for me? No, company dash profile. That looks great. And you can make this whatever you want, but usually it's easiest to make it sort of match the title. So you can see now scottleroy.kw.com/company dash profile will bring them to this page over here. And then SEO description. So this is not a place where you're going to add in like hashtags or keywords or anything like that. Basically, this is the description of what your website is or what the web page is that shows up in a search engine. So for example, I went to Google and I searched Orlando real estate. And the meta title or the page title is up here. It's actually the link that you click on to go to that page from the search engine. So for mine, if I switch back over, it would say company profile. So if I wanted to, I can call this Scott Leroy company profile. And if I update that, that's what's going to show up in a search engine. So that's the meta title or the page title. And then the meta description is this little blurb down here. So for example, this is Zillow. So Zillow has 3,096 homes for sale in Orlando, Florida, blah, blah, blah. So it's usually just like a couple sentences, like a quick little blurb. On ours, we have view the value proposition of Scott Leroy Marketing and see why they are the best choice for your real estate transaction. So just some sort of quick little blurb about whatever this page is. So I can even change this, learn more about Scott Leroy Marketing and see why they are your best choice for your real estate transaction. So if you need ideas for this, honestly, I would just Google mega agents, Google people in your area, see what their meta titles and descriptions are, and you can come up with ideas from that. That might be a good guide. So that is all we need to do for search engine optimization, and that's just for this specific page, the company profile. So now we can go to content, and this is the content for this page as well. So you can see on this page, up at the top, it has this image, a header image, and then a title or page header. And then down below, you can add in information and images. So for our header title, it says why hire us. I'll just kind of update this so we can see it in real time. You can change this header image as well by uploading an image from your computer. Intro paragraph. This is why you should hire us in 250 characters or less. I love that. So some sort of blurb here. If you don't want anything, I think you can just take that out. And then there are 3 different sections that you can upload here. And then anything, again, that you leave blank, it will take out. So on this page, you'd probably want to just put like a couple bullet points or little paragraphs and photos about your company. So this first headline, first section, we have our experience. We have 40 plus years of real estate experience, and I have 500 characters to tell you, so that's so funny. So yeah, this section's 250 characters. These ones are 500. You can put in a little bit more here, and then add some sort of image. In another class that we've taught, we had the example of, this says our experience, and then you might want to put in something like our tools, and then maybe something about staging. So you can add in a photo of a home that you've staged and say like Scott Leroy Marketing does custom staging for your home, blah, blah, blah. You get it. Something about your company, your team, what have you. Anything you want to add in, you do have 3 sections. Is it 3? Maybe it's just 2. I thought it was 3. You have 2 sections that you can add in here. And they have those images and descriptions. And then down at the bottom, we have our footer. We have looking to buy or sell. Feel free to call or email our distinguished team at any time. You can make that say whatever you want, and this is what it'll look like on the site. And then, of course, it just plugs in our basic information, contact info. So that looks good. That's our company profile page. Easy peasy, just go through the steps and set it up. If this is already set up, you can just click skip, but I'm going to click continue because I want that to save. All right, now we are on the About Me page. This does plug in your info from that marketing profile. So on this one, there's not really a lot we have to update. We can change the title if we want. It just says About Me. I can say About SLM. The URL slug, again, basically just choosing the URL or the link for this page. So scottleroy.kw.com/about-me will bring us there. We could change that to about if we wanted to. And then the SEO description. Perfect. Obviously, you're not going to do that, but just add something in. That's what's going to show up on that search engine. So yeah, easy enough. Page title, URL slug, and SEO description. And then for content, we'll pop this open. And like I said, there's not a lot you have to update on this. It does pull from that marketing profile. So page title, About Me, right here. Your title, digital marketer at Scott Leroy Marketing. That's going to display below. Bio title, About Scott. And then Scott's bio here. And then down at the bottom, there is a contact section. We have contact Scott. You could have it say contact the SLM team. And then we can add in the contact, phone number, and email here as well. So one cool thing I do want to point out, on the Playster sites, it didn't actually display your email. We had an email me button, and then it would make whatever email server your client or whomever was using, it would pop up when they clicked on that, but it didn't actually show the email on the website. Thankfully, on these new KW Command sites, it does actually display your email, which is really cool, because then now people can copy and paste this if they want to. So that looks good. Our About page is complete. I'm going to click Continue. And then the last page that we're setting up through this is Contact Us. SEO, same thing, picking the title and the description. And then the slug. So this page is going to be scottleroy.kw.com/contact. We've added in the title and the description. Don't really need to touch on that again. And then if we open up the content, basically just putting this together. So up at the top, our header says Contact Us. You can see that over here on the left. Intro paragraph, we always respond via phone or email in less than 10 minutes. That is actually very true. We are really quick. Message hint. Okay, so then it gives them a contact form. They can put in their first name, last name, email, and phone number. And then here is that message box where they can write in their message to you. So you can add in a hint for them. Are you looking to buy or sell? Like, what kind of questions do you want this person to give you? Or what kind of information do you want this person to give you when they contact you? So we put in, are you looking to buy or sell? What is your time frame? What are you in your search? Oh, where are you? I was like, what does that say? Where are you in your search? What is your budget? So great questions you can put in there, just hints of information that they would want to give you. So you can be as helpful as possible. And then your phone number and email, you'll see those will be displayed down at the bottom. All right, that looks good to go. I'm going to click Save and Continue, and that's it. So now our website, you can see we went through that pretty quickly. We finished our Kelly guide and our agent site is set up. So now what we can do is we can actually look at our site, and I'll show you how we can add in different additional pages as well and edit our pages. So from here, it says, what's next? If you want to, we can go to Sites, Frequently Asked Questions, go to our site settings, or create more sites. We are going to go into our site settings so I can show you a couple things you can edit without having to go back through the entire Kelly guide again. But I want to show you that from the just like the regular homepage in Command, so you can find it that way. So I'm just going to click on the X at the top right, and that'll bring us back into Command. So now we're looking at our sites. Again, we're on landing pages. I'm going to click on Agent Site Pages up at the center, top center. And here we can see any pages that we've created for our site. So you can see we have a lot on here, but these are those ones that we did through the Kelly guide. Yeah, sorry about that. We have all of our sites displayed here, our web pages for our website. You can preview those here by clicking on this little eyeball. You can see the date that they were created, and then if we wanted to edit those or delete them, we can click on the little dot to the far right, and you have the option to edit or delete, and that'll bring you back in. You can add new pages to your site here as well. So if you wanted to add in like a page about a listing or about your team, all you would need to do is go up to the top right and click Create New Site. We have a couple options here. If you wanted to create a new page for your agent site, you can click on this. You do have to, I believe, to add in any site, any page, it does have to have at least one widget on there. So that's more of like our 201 class, I think. But we do have individual videos that are really helpful on adding pages to your agent site. So if you guys are interested in that, reach out to us or look on our YouTube page and you can learn more about that. But you can add pages in addition to those 3 that we created. You can add more custom pages to your site, and we have videos that will walk you through that. And then, of course, if you wanted to create a standalone page, this would be like a standalone landing page about a listing or an open house or something. But this is just where you would go if you wanted to add more pages to your website. So we're not going to go through that today. I'm just going to click Cancel. And there are a few settings that you can edit without going into the Kelly guide, but there are some things you do have to edit from within the Kelly guide. So to show you that, I'm going to go up to the top right and click on Agent Site Settings. All right. Oh, I don't know. Great question. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know. Do we have I'm not sure if we have a 201 class just yet. Go to scottleroymarketing.com/training, and that's where you can see all of our classes. But for now, I don't think there is a 201 class yet because there are only so many things that we can add to the site at this point. So for like those extra customization things, I know we have individual videos. So for example, adding pages to your command site, we have a video on that where we show you how to create pages beyond like the about me, contact, blah, blah, blah. So if you go to, whoop, what am I doing? So you can also go to youtube.com/ScottLeroy and you can find videos on that as well. But I don't think we have a 201 class because I don't think there's a lot of 201 stuff we can do just yet. But just for today's like basic class, we're not going over creating custom pages just yet. But this is, now we're in the agent site settings. We can see this flip is switched over here. What am I? Switch is flipped. I totally switched that wording. This switch is flipped over here. So our information is being used to brand our agent site. And there are a few things we can edit from here within agent site settings. We can change our domain if we wanted to. Cool thing, you can update this at any time. You can just come here, type in whatever you want to change it to, and hit update. That'll update right away. We can change our theme here as well by either choosing the red theme or the dark theme. We can't update the hero images from here just yet. We're hoping that they'll add this in so you don't have to go through the Kelly guide again, but at this time if you wanted to upload or update basically like the background of your website, you would have to go through the Kelly guide again. But if it's already filled out, you can just, skip through everything until you get to that section that you need to change. But right here is where you can update the color themes. And then if you wanted to, you can change the pages as well. Over here on the right, we can change the order, of course. We can update our page titles and URL slugs and the SEO descriptions here as well. So one thing to note, if you do create a new page for your website, from that first page I was just on a few moments ago, it won't, once you create it, it won't automatically add it to your website. You do have to come here once the page is created, and then you can click Add Page. And for that page, you add in the page title, the URL slug, and the SEO description. And then you can click this button here, Select Page, and it'll show you all of your pages that you've created, and you can select whichever one and add it to your site and add it to that page, that site menu. It does give you the option as well to create a new page here, new site, new page here. So hopefully that wasn't too confusing. To just reiterate, if you create a new page for your website, it doesn't automatically add it to the website or the menu. You have to come here and add it, and you can select it here, select whatever page you've already created or create a new one from this page as well. All right, so before we wrap up today, I just want to go ahead and show you what what the site looks like. So I'm going to click on Agent Site Pages again, and it does show you the link to your website. If you've ever forgotten it, you can find it here. And if we click on that, it does bring us into our page. So we can see logos up here at the top left, our name. We have a lot of pages on our website. So this is where they access the menu. So you can see up at the top, there's home, and then these are our different pages that we've created. This is that hero image slideshow that we added in. If we scroll down, there's a contact form and our personal information here. And then down at the bottom, office info, social media info, and then those legal footers. And it does show us last revised today. So really cool. Your clients can come here and search for properties. The cool thing about this is, unlike some of the previous sites, this is not only linked to your MLS board. So before, you would only be able to search listings within your board, I believe. This is actually nationwide. So they can go in here, like I am not in Florida, but I can view Listings in Florida, I can search by address, neighborhood, what have you, and I can see different listings here. So I searched Orlando, Florida. I can scroll through, break this down by price, beds, baths. You can also use the map feature over here on the left. I can use this little pencil if I only want to see listings in this area. Oh, there's no listings there? I picked the one area with no listings? Let's redo that, I guess. Interesting. I guess I just got lucky. So let's try that again and just circle. There we go. All right. So now on the map, I selected that area and it's now showing me listings. Ooh, this one looks really cool, actually. No, at this time, great question. At this time, there is not a way to display featured listings on the homepage, unfortunately. We are hoping that becomes available soon. There is an option, and you'll see if you check out that other video about adding pages, you can add a page with a widget about a listing. So you can add like a featured listings page about one specific listing on your website, but at this time, unfortunately, there is not a way to, display like a few listings down here, like how it is on some of the other sites. But we're really hoping that becomes available soon. But thank you for that question. But yeah, that is actually about it for today. So thank you guys for sticking around. If you have further questions, definitely, I see. Okay, yes. Oh, so great question. I actually forgot to point that out, and I caught myself, and we were too far gone. But so great question. So oops. So okay. So let me go back in really quick. So this question was, I see your agent on top as opposed to my name. How do I fix that? That's a great question. So that person is referring to, sorry guys, let me pull my window back up. Right here. So this is something that is updated in the Kelly guide, and I'll go back through and show you that really quick. If we don't update this, it'll say your agent. I totally forgot to point that out. So I'm going to go back into the Kelly guide really quick. So I'm going to Sites, Learn More with Kelly Guides. Basically just go back into the Kelly guide. I'm going through this pretty quickly. Okay, so that section I believe is in the marketing profile section. So I'm back in the Kelly guide. Step 1, subdomain. If we scroll down, it says marketing profile information. So team or business name. I'm so sorry I forgot to point that out. I had it in my notes and I totally forgot it. But team or business name, we have Scott Leroy Marketing. So that's showing right here. So if you don't add in something here, like if you don't have a team, you're just an individual agent, I would just put your name here. Because if you don't, it's going to say, what does it say, your agent? Yeah, your agent. So that's where you can update that in this marketing profile section in the Kelly guide. Team or business name, that's going to update this menu here. Thank you for asking that. How do I add my Facebook? You would add your Facebook into the marketing profile. You can do it in here in the Kelly guide. If you scroll all the way down, there is a spot for Facebook, but if you came in late, you've missed this at the beginning of class. I'm going to exit out of the Kelly guide. So if I were you, I would update your Facebook page in the marketing profile. So if you're just signed into Command, on any page in Command, you would click on your name at the top right, click on Settings, Connect Settings on the left, and then Marketing Profile. And this is where, excuse me, this is where I would recommend updating your social media information, because if you add it in here, you won't have to add it on every individual thing that you create. So if you scroll down in this marketing profile, you can see at the very bottom, or almost the very bottom, there is a social section where you can add in your Facebook link. All right, so that is actually about it for today. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for your great questions. If you need further assistance, definitely feel free to reach out to us. And if not, we hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll talk to you soon.